Good morning, students. In the last class, we discussed some new definitions: involuntary matrix, nilpotent matrix, orthogonal matrix, idempotent matrix. Just let us do some bits based on that concept. The first one is, if A is equal to 0, 0, 1, 1 is one of the matrix, then A plus A square plus A cube plus 1 plus A power n. That is the question. This is simply we can do it. First of all, this is representing as idempotent matrix. Suppose if you don't know how to identify whether it is an idempotent matrix or involuntary matrix, just you can do it A square, then you will get A. So this is an example of idempotent matrix. So that A plus idempotent matrix means you will get again A plus A cube. This is also you will get again A. So 1 plus A. So A plus A plus A plus 1 A. That means this is how many times? As per problem A power n. That means n times. So the answer is NA. With the help of definition, just simply we can do it that bit. And second one, if 5A is equal to 3, 4, minus 4x, and A into A transpose is equal to A transpose into A is equal to I, then what is the value of x? In this bit, just you can observe clearly, A into A transpose is equal to A transpose into A is equal to I is given. From this statement, we can say that A is called as orthogonal matrix. When it is orthogonal matrix, the determinant of orthogonal matrix value is always plus or minus 1. We did yesterday already. So that from the definition, we can write that A is equal to plus or minus 1. This is the given matrix 5A. Now we are finding that A. So 5A is equal, this is A is equal to, you can write 1 by 5. So 1 by 5 into determinant of this is, that means 3x plus 16 is equal to plus or minus 1. And from this 3x plus 16 is equal to, you can write plus or minus 5. So 3x is equal to plus 5 you can take, that means 5 minus 16, and 3x is equal to minus 5 minus 16. So from this 3x is equal to 5 minus 16 means minus 11. So final x is equal to minus 11 by 5. And from this 3x is equal to minus 21, x is equal to minus 7. So from this the values of x are minus 7 by 5 and minus 7. So with the help of this is we can do it very easily. And the third one is, if A comma B are idempotent matrices, A comma B are idempotent matrices, and one more data is AB is equal to BA is equal to 0. Then what is the name of the matrix? That means A plus B whole square is equal to dash. That means what is the name of the matrix? Once again, capital A comma capital B are idempotent matrices. And one more data is AB is equal to BA is equal to 0. Then A plus B whole square is represents name of the matrix. Name of the matrix means which is idempotent matrix or nilpotent matrix or identity matrix or symmetric matrix, just like whatever it may be. So this is how to do it means just a simple logic. So first of all, A plus B whole square means we have standard formula. That means A square plus B square plus AB plus BA. So clearly it was given AB and BA both are zeros. So we will get only A square plus B square. So A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus B square. And in this problem only one more data is A and B are idempotent matrices. What is the definition of idempotent matrix? A square equal to A. B is also idempotent matrix. Automatically we can write B square equal to B. So A plus B whole square is equal to A plus B. Can we say anything about this is from this statement? Yes, we can say that a plus b whole square is equal to a plus b means a plus b is called a idempotent matrix. Why? Because the standard definition of idempotent matrix is a square equal to a. Then we can say a is idempotent matrix. Here a plus b whole square equal to a plus b. So that we can say a plus b is a idempotent matrix. So with the help of those definitions, just simply we can do it such type of bits. Now we will discuss next concept. The next concept is symmetric matrix. Symmetric matrix. So capital A is one of the square matrix. Capital A is one of the square matrix if satisfying the condition A transpose is equal to A, then that is called as symmetric matrix. That means just you can take one of the matrix. A is a square matrix means you can take whether 2 by 2 or 3 by 3, whatever it may be. So for example, I am taking some elements 1, 2, 3, and for example 2, 5, 6 and 3, 6, 0. Just that is one of the matrix. It is a symmetric matrix or not? How to verify means you can do it A transpose. So do you know already transpose means just interchanging the rows and columns. This is 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. 2, 5, 6. So 2, 5, 6. This is 3, 6, 0. 3, 6, 0. So this is A transpose. You can observe here A transpose also equal to same matrix. So this condition is satisfied. So this is an example of symmetric matrix. So symmetric matrix means simply we can say that if A transpose is equal to A, that is called a symmetric matrix. Suppose if you are doing any bit, whenever you have B transpose is equal to B, then we can say that B is called as a symmetric matrix. So for this, properties are A plus A transpose and A transpose. These two are represents symmetric matrices. A plus A transpose, A transpose, both are representing as symmetric matrices. And the next one is skew symmetric matrix. Skew symmetric matrix. Same, capital A is one of the square matrix, and which satisfying the condition A transpose is equal to minus A. A transpose is equal to minus A, then which is called as a skew symmetric matrix. I will give you one example. If it is a skew symmetric matrix, here principal diagonal elements must be zeros. That is the main condition. Principal diagonal elements means these elements it must be zeros. And here you can take any two elements. If suppose this is AB, then these two are minus A minus B. And you can take any element. If it is C, then you can write minus C. Then this is automatically representing as a skew symmetric matrix. If you want to verify, first you can do it transpose, A transpose. So when we are doing transpose, 0 A B, and the second one is minus A 0 C. Next one is minus B minus C 0. And from this I am taking minus is common. When I am taking minus is common, 0, and it is A, it is B. So and this is minus A, and it is 0, it is plus C. And it is minus B, it is minus C, it is 0. So just you can observe here, this is a given matrix A. So that A transpose is equal to, which is representing as minus A. So that is called as skew symmetric matrix. When we are doing any objective questions, just simple statement, which of the following is symmetric or skew symmetric. By that time, just you go through directly options. You can do it A transpose, you will get A, that is symmetric. Suppose if you will get minus A transpose, then that is called as a skew symmetric matrix. In the skew symmetric matrix, principal diagonal is always 0. and in that also we can frame one bit. The trace of the skew symmetric matrix is always 0. The trace of the skew symmetric matrix is always 0. Why? Because these are the principal diagonal elements. Trace means do you know already. So by the statement we can say that trace is 0. And one more data is here, and one more point or one more property. A minus A transpose, this is representing as skew symmetric matrix. A minus A transpose is skew symmetric matrix. A plus A transpose are representing as symmetric matrices. So maybe you will get some doubt. So how can we say those are representing symmetric or skew symmetric? Before that, we have some basic properties of transpose matrix. Those are, first one is A plus B whole transpose is equal to A transpose plus B transpose. First one is A plus B whole transpose is equal to A transpose plus B transpose. And the second property is Ka whole transpose is equal to K into A transpose, where K belongs to some constant. And AB whole transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose. And A transpose whole transpose is equal to A. Transpose we can write in this way, or we can write dash anyway. Both are similar, transpose or dash. Those are the basic properties of symmetric, transpose of the matrix. So A plus A transpose are symmetric matrices. Why? Suppose if we want to verify means A plus A transpose. This is now we want to prove that symmetric matrix. How to prove it means, for this you can apply whole transpose. Then which is just like as A plus B whole transpose. A plus B whole transpose means A transpose plus B transpose. That means A transpose whole transpose. So this is A transpose plus A transpose whole transpose means A. So and this is also can be written as A plus A transpose. So finally A plus A transpose whole transpose is equal to, the result is A plus A transpose. So from this we can say that this is a symmetric matrix. So we can say like that also A transpose and A minus A transpose also. Based on these properties we can say that. Okay. Now we have one more property. Now one more property is the square matrix capital A. The square matrix capital A uniquely expressed as sum of symmetric matrix and skew symmetric matrix. Let us discuss what is the meaning of this statement. The square matrix capital A uniquely expressed as sum of symmetric matrix and skew symmetric matrix. That means the matrix A, that means let A is equal to sum of symmetric and skew symmetric. That is how to consider means 1 by 2 into A plus A transpose plus 1 by 2 into A minus A transpose. This is totally, you can simplify. It must be equal to A or not. Just you can verify. 1 by 2 into this A, that means 1 by 2 into A, that means A by 2. Plus 1 by 2 into this is, that means A transpose by 2. Plus 1 by 2 into A, that means A by 2. minus 1 by 2 into this is minus A transpose by 2. So now these two are cancelled and A by 2 plus A by 2, that means A. So that A we can express in this way. Now as per this statement, we want to prove that this is symmetric and this is skew symmetric. That is now I want to prove that. How to prove it means, I told you already, when we want to prove that symmetric matrix, for this apply transpose. That means half into A plus A transpose. For this we are applying transpose. It is a constant, just make it separate 1 by 2. Again, like as previous, A plus B whole transpose. That means A transpose plus B transpose. That means A transpose whole transpose. So 1 by 2 into A transpose plus this is only A. You can observe here clearly 1 by 2 into A transpose plus A. 1 by 2 into A transpose plus A. So you will get again same matrix. Is it or not? So 1 by 2 into A plus A transpose whole transpose is equal to 1 by 2 into A transpose plus A. So when we are doing transpose, you will get that such type of matrix. So that this is called as a symmetric matrix. We prove like that. In the same way, now you can take second one. Apply transpose. For this case, you will get minus. Let us see. Second one is half into A minus A transpose whole transpose. Half is constant. This is A minus B whole transpose means A transpose minus A transpose whole transpose. So now 1 by 2 into this is A transpose minus A. And you can take minus is common. So minus 1 by 2 into A minus A transpose. So originally A minus A transpose whole transpose equal to, you will get minus. When it is a minus, we can say that skew symmetry matrix. So finally, the matrix A can be expressed as sum of symmetric matrix and skew symmetric matrix. So this is the reason. But when we are doing a problem, you need not to do this everything. Just simply you can use a formula. That formula is, this is only, simply we can write now, the synopsis is, if A is equal to P plus Q, if A is equal to P plus Q, where P is symmetric matrix and Q is skew symmetric matrix. A equal to P plus Q, P is symmetric matrix, Q is skew symmetric matrix. For find P, the formula is 1 by 2 into A plus A transpose. For find Q, 1 by 2 into A minus A transpose. This is standard synopsis for us. Okay, A equal to P plus Q, when P is symmetric matrix, Q is symmetric matrix, then for find P, formula is half into A plus A transpose. For finding Q is equal to half into A minus A transpose. Now I am giving to you one bit. For example, if 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, minus 1, 1, 4, 5 is equal to P plus Q, then find P, that is the question. If one of the matrix is given which is equal to P plus Q, where P is symmetric, Q is skew symmetric, then find P. That means with the help of above formula, P is equal to half into A plus A transpose. Already in this problem we have matrix A. Just simply you can do it. That means 1 by 2 into A, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, minus 1, 1, 4, 5, plus A transpose. A transpose means we can write 1, 2, 3, and 0, 1, minus 1, and 1, 4, 5. So 1 by 2 into, you can add 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 0, again 2, 3 plus 1, 4, 0 plus 2, this is 2, and the next one is 2, and the next one is 3, and next one is 4, and it is 3, and it is 10. So this is the value of P. So simply we can use this formula. Suppose in this question only, if we want to calculate Q, then automatically you can write 1 by 2 into A minus A transpose. So, this is the concept of symmetric and skew symmetric. So, in that the next concept is determinants. Determinants. So, determinants means it is possible to calculate only square matrices, whether 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, like that, only square matrices. We know already, suppose one of the matrices A is I am taking, A, B, C, D is the one of the square matrix, then that A means how to calculate, just we can write AD minus BC. That is the way of process for finding 2 by 2 matrix determinant. When it is 3 by 3 matrix, if for example A1, A2, A3 and B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. So, now we want to calculate determinant of this matrix, even though do you know. So, A1 into the minor of the elements, that means B2, C3 minus B3, C2. Okay. And next one is minus A2 into the minor of A2 element is, you will get B1, C3 minus B3, C1. And the next one is plus A3 into, and this is, you will get B1, C2 minus B2, C1. That is the process for finding determinant of 3 by 3 matrix. Now, we are going to discuss some properties of determinants. In that, first one is, in a determinant, if all the elements are zeros in any row or any column, all the elements are zeros are any row or any column, that means this is the position of determinant. Now, what I am telling you means, here elements are zeros, either any one of the row or any one of the column, then the total determinant value is 0. In that determinant, not only first row, either any one of the row or any one of the column, all the elements are zeros, then you can write the total value is 0. And the second property is, in that determinant, if any two rows or any two columns are identical, that means same, then the total value also 0. That means any two rows, suppose these two are similar and this is third row. When the two rows or two columns are equal, then we can write the determinant value is 0. For example, what is the value of determinant of A1, A2, A3? Suppose B1, B2, B3. And again I am giving to you A1, A2, A3. Without doing any calculation, just you can write simply 0. Why? Because here two rows are same, then you can write 0. Or two columns are equal, you can write 0 without doing any problem. So, that is the second property. And the third property is, in a determinant, if you are interchanging any two rows, or any two columns, that means generally do you know, this is the first row, that means R1, and it is R2 second row, and it is R3 third row. Similarly, do you know, this is C1 first column, this is C2 and this is C3. Here property is, just you can interchange any two rows or any two columns, the total result you will get negative of the determinant. That means, if for example, determinant of A1, A2, A3 and B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3 is equal to, for example, 10, that value is. Just you can take some elements. Now, what is the value of A1, A2, A3, C1, C2, C3, B1, B2, B3 is equal to, we want to calculate. Just simply we can write minus 10. Why? Because here these two are interchanged here. So, when these two are interchanged, whether R1, R2 or C1, whatever it may be, any two rows or any equal, just we can write negative of that value. This is plus 10, then we can write minus 10. Okay, that is the meaning of the third property. And the fourth property is, determinant of A is equal to determinant of A transpose. Determinant of A is equal to determinant of A transpose. If for example, this is a determinant means it is applicable for not only 2 by 2, whether it is 2 by 2 or 3 by 2, or it may be it is a possible and applicable for all these square matrices. If suppose A, this is the one of the matrix, that A, AD minus BC, it is clear. Suppose now I am finding A transpose, I am finding A transpose. So A transpose is equal, this is A. A transpose means A, C, B, D. Now I am calculating A transpose. That means AD minus BC. So both are same or not? So that determinant of A is equal to determinant of A transpose. If for example, det A value is 20 for example, then what is the value of determinant of A transpose? You can write directly 20. And the fifth one is, this is the one of the determinant. Those are the some elements. You can multiply it by any constant to any row or any column. In a determinant, you can take one of the constant k, that is multiplied by the any one of the row or any one of the column. That means these are the some elements. If for example, it is A1, it is A2, A3, and B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. This is the one of the determinant. Now as per property, you can multiply it by the constant, any row or any column. So now I am multiplying by the k to this row, k, k, k. You can take any constant, not only k. So then this is can be expressed as k into determinant of original matrix. That means k into determinant of A1, A2, A3, and B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. That is the meaning of this statement. If suppose k, this is not k, now I am taking this is p, this is p, this is p. The constant p is multiplied by the second column here. Then you can write p into determinant of this is. So that is the meaning of this sentence. And next one is determinant of AB. Determinant of AB is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. So what is the meaning of this statement means? Determinant of AB. That means you can take any two square matrices, A and B. When we are taking two matrices, A and B, just you can multiply AB, you will get one new matrix. Is it or not? Now find for this determinant of AB. For that matrix, find determinant. You will get some answer. That result it must be equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. Here you can calculate that A, you will get some number. Similarly, you can calculate determinant B, you will get some number. Multiply these two, definitely the result it must be equal to determinant of AB. That is the meaning of this statement. And next one is determinant of A power n is equal to det A whole to the power of n. Where n is integer, determinant of A power n is equal to det A whole power n. If suppose n is equal to 2 or 3 or for whatever it may be, determinant of A square which is equal to, we can write det A whole square. So is there any variation for these two? First just you can observe here. Determinant of A square, that means we have one matrix A. For that, first find A square. We have one of the matrix capital A, and then you can find A square. How to calculate A? We know A into A. So you will get one new matrix. For this matrix, you can calculate determinant of for this matrix. So you will get some number. This result it must be equal to det A whole square. Now I am taking one example. You can take whatever it may be, whether 2 by 2 or 3 by 3. If for example A is equal to 1, 3, 5, 10. For this, det A is equal to 10 minus 15. That means answer is minus 5. Now I am doing A square. That means A into A. So 1 3 5 10, again 1 3 5 10. So you will get multiplication 1 into 1, 1 plus 15, 1 into 3, 3 plus 30, and 5 into 1, 5 plus 50, 5 into 3, 15 plus 100. So now 1 plus 15, this is 16, and this is 33, and it is 55, 15 plus 100. 15 plus 100 means 105. Now for this we are finding determinant. So determinant of a square is equal to AD minus BC. That means 16 into 105 minus 55 into 33. So you will get one of the value. Is it or not? That value, it must be equal to that A whole square. So what is the value of that A? This is A. That A means minus 5. So minus 5 whole square, that means 25. This result, it must be equal to 25. So that we can say that that A whole power n is equal to that A whole power n. And determinant of Ka is equal to, determinant of Ka is equal to, K is some constant. K is one of the constant. Then we can write K power n into determinant of A. K power n into determinant of A. N means order of the matrix. N means order of the matrix. K means some constant. That means, if for example I am taking determinant of 5A, by using this formula we can write 5 power n. N means order of the matrix. In question itself only it was given clearly, as A is 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 or 4 by 4. Suppose if A is a 3 by 3 matrix, if A is 3 by 3 matrix, then determinant of 5A is equal to, by using this formula K power n, that means 5 cube into determinant of A. So 5 cube means we can write 125 into that A. So we can use like that. That is the meaning of that property. And one more and last, the product of two determinants. The product of two determinants, it means this is the determinant. And it A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. And another one is P1, P2, P3, Q1, Q2, Q3, R1, R2, R3. What is the meaning of the statements? The product of two determinants, which is also can be written as like as a product of the two matrices. That means row and column. So A1 into P1, A1 P1 plus A2 Q1 plus A3 R1, like as a product of two matrices only. Like the remaining elements also. That means A1 P2, A1 P2 plus A2 Q2 plus A3 R2. And the next one is A1 P3, A1 P3 plus A2 Q3 plus A3 R3. So we can write remaining elements also. What are the remaining elements means? B1 P1 plus B2 Q1 plus B3 R1. Likewise, B1 P2 plus B2 Q2 plus B3 R2. And B1 P3 plus B2 Q3 plus B3 R3. Likewise, third row and third column also. These properties are very helpful to solve some bits in our problems. Okay. Now next one is determinant of, derivative of determinant. Derivative of determinant. That means if suppose delta is equal to determinant of f1x, f2x, and it is g1x and g2x. This is determinant. Now we are finding derivative of this determinant. So it has one standard property, that is when we are doing delta x, which is called as delta dash x, when we are doing derivative delta dash x. So here derivative means the process is, it is 2 by 2 determinant, this is. So derivative process is, first you can do derivative of any one of the row or any one of the column. That means first I am doing derivative of first row. The derivative of f1 x means we can write f1 dash x, and the derivative of f2 x is f2 dash x, and the second row is as it is. That means g1x, g2x. Okay, now plus now the derivative of second row. In this case, first row is, you can write similarly. That means f1x and the next one is f2x. Now derivative of second row. So we can write the derivative of g1x is, we can write g1 dash x. The derivative of g2x is g2 dash x. So this is the process of finding the derivative of determinant. This is a new concept. First it is 2 by 2 matrix, then you can write sum of the two determinants. The you can do derivative or any first row or first column, plus second time. The first part is as it is, now you can do second, the derivative of the second row. If suppose problem is given the determinant of 3 by 3, the determinant of 3 by 3, by that time the total problem can be expressed as sum of the three determinants. Sum of the three determinants. That means first derivative of first row, remaining two are similar, plus the derivative of second row, that means 1 and 3 are similar, plus the derivative of third row. In that case, first and second are similar. So that is the process of finding the derivative of determinant. Now I am giving you one example, you can get some clarification. Now I am giving you one example. Let f of x is equal to determinant of sin x, cos x, sin x. Cos x minus sin x, cos x, x 1, 1. Then find f dash x, or f dash x is equal to dash. So clearly it is a determinant of 3 by 3. So by using previous formula, the derivative of f of x is f dash x is equal to, now I am doing derivative of first row, sin x derivative, this is a cos x derivative, minus sin x derivative, and it is cos x. Remaining two are as it is, that means cos x minus sin x, cos x, and the next one is x 1, 1. Now plus, now the derivative of second term, that means these two are similar. So sin x, and it is a cos x, sin x. The derivative of cos x is minus sin x, and it is minus cos x. Cos x derivative is minus sin x. These two are as it is, x 1, 1, plus. Now first two are similar. The determinant of sin x and cos x, again sin x. Second one also as it is, cos x minus sin x, and it is cos x. Now the derivative of third row, the derivative of x is 1. The derivative of constant, that means 0, and it is also 0. So this is the way of process, and you can expand these determinants. That is only required answer. So that is the process of finding the derivative of determinant of either 2 by 2 or 3 by 3. And I am giving to you one more example. If find determinant of, for example, 1991 and 1992, and it is 1993, and similarly 1992, 1993, 1994. and it is 1993, 1994, 1995. This is the one of the example. So now we want the value of this determinant. So generally, if we want to calculate determinant, it is highly difficult. It is clear. Is it or not? We have some properties for determinant. With the help of those properties, simply we can do it. So that is, this is R1 and it is R2. It is R3. Now what I am doing means here, R1 goes to, just we can do it, R1 minus R2. That means I am subtracting. Because the problem will be simplest form. Then R2 goes to R2 minus R3. When we are doing such type of operation, R1 minus R2, corresponding elements, then you will get minus 1. R1, that means this is, R2 means this is. Now we can subtract corresponding elements, it is minus 1. This element minus this element, again you will get minus 1. R2 minus R3, then it is minus 1, it is a minus 1, and it is also minus 1. And the last one is as it is. 19.5. Now without doing any calculation, just simply you can write answer 0. Why? Because we have one property in a determinant, when two rows are similar, the total value is 0. So based on that concept, these two are similar, so that you can write answer is 0. So these are the main properties of determinants. So the next concept is adjoint and inverse matrix. Adjoint and inverse matrices. So generally the standard property of inverse matrix is, so A is the one of the square matrix, and we have already formula A inverse is equal to adjoint A by det A. A inverse is equal to adjoint A by det A. When we are finding inverse A, it must be non-singular matrix. That is also one of the main conditions. Do you know mostly? A inverse is adjoint A by det A. In this case, when we are finding inverse, A must be non-singular matrix. Why? Because non-singular means determinant value is not equal to 0. If det A value is 0, suppose, if it is 0, then A inverse does not exist. So that when we are finding inverse of the function, A must be non-singular matrix. That is the one of the main point. Now adjoint and inverse matrices, it has some properties. In that first one is adjoint of AB is equal to adjoint of B into adjoint of A. I will give you a reason also. And the second property is determinant of adjoint A is equal to det A whole power n minus 1, where n is order of the matrix. And the third one is determinant of adjoint A equal to det A whole power n minus 1 whole square. Same, n is order of the matrix. And the determinant of adjoint of, again adjoint of A, it is repeating r times it is repeating, then which is equal to det A whole power n minus 1 whole power r. In that n is order of the matrix, r is just the sentence is repeating r times. So these are the basic properties of adjoint matrix. In that first one is adjoint of AB is equal to adjoint of B into adjoint of A. Why? Because our standard property is A inverse is equal to adjoint A by det A. Is it or not? From this, adjoint A is equal to, we can write det A into A inverse. Now first I am taking adjoint of AB. Adjoint of AB. By using this definition, adjoint A is equal to det A into A inverse. Is it or not? Or A inverse into det A. Now adjoint of AB means we can write AB whole inverse into determinant of AB based on this formula. Okay, now from inverse properties, AB whole inverse is equal to, we have property B inverse into A inverse, and the determinant of AB means det A into det B, and from this B inverse into det B, and also A inverse into det A. B inverse into det B, just you can observe here, A inverse into det A, which is equal to adjoint A. B inverse into det B, that means we can write automatically adjoint of B into A inverse into det A, means we can write adjoint A. So this is the standard property of adjoint of AB, we can write adjoint B into adjoint A. So this is the one of the property, first property. And the second one is determinant of adjoint A is equal to det A whole power n minus 3, n is order of the matrix. For this, consider as A into adjoint A. A into adjoint A, just let us consider as A is a matrix, adjoint A means same. From this we can write A inverse into det A or det A into A inverse. From this, that is what I am doing now. A inverse into det A. Now A into A inverse means you will get identity matrix. A is the one of the matrix and A inverse. You can multiply those two. Always you will get identity matrix. So identity matrix into determinant of A. We are talking about order of matrix n. That means nth order matrix. Now det A into I means identity matrix of order n. Identity matrix of order n means 1, 0, 0, 0, so on 0, n times. You suppose 3 by 3 means 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 3 by 3 means. Like that, this is nth order, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, so on. Next one is 0, 0, 0, so on, 1. Third order means 1, 0, 0. Third order means 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. Second order identity matrix means 1, 0, 0, 1. This is nth order, so that we can write in this way. This is identity matrix of order n. Now you can multiply with det A. This is a matrix, that means multiplied by all the elements. Is it or not? So that determinant of A 0, 0, 0, so on 0, n times. Next 0, det A 0, 0, so on. And next one is 0, 0, 0, so on, det A. Yes, this is multiplied by all the elements. That is general property, we know that already. So left side is A into adjoint A. Now for this both sides apply determinant. I am applying determinant. So determinant of A into determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant of that matrix. Both sides we are applying det A. So now from this, det A left side is det A into determinant of adjoint A, which is equal to, now this is a determinant of this matrix. Previously I told you we can take anything is common from any row or column. From this column, that means from this row, I am taking det A is common. Actually det A 0, 0, 0, so on, like that. Next one is 0, det A 0, so on. And the next one is 0, 0, so on, det A. Now from this row, I am taking det A is common. Det A is common. Then 1, 0, 0, so on, like that. From second row also I am taking det A is common. Then you will get 0, 1, 0, so on, like that. It is nth identity matrix. And the next one is 0, 0, so on, 1. that A into that A into that A, so on, it is repeating how many times? N times it is repeating. Is it or not? Because nth order identity matrix. That A into that A into that A into so on, N times. This is first row, from second row, from third row, from fourth row. Like that, just you can continue it. This is N times here in this way. So that A into that A into that so on, N times. So that A whole power N into the determinant of identity matrix is 1. The determinant of identity matrix is 1. Is it or not? Suppose 2 by 2 matrix 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 1. Just the determinant is, you can calculate 1. Now I am taking 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. You can calculate determinant, you will get 1. The determinant of identity matrix is always 1. So that the determinant of this identity matrix is 1. So finally, that A into determinant of adjoint A is equal to that A whole power N. And from this, determinant of adjoint A is equal to this is by this is. Then we can write that A whole power N minus 1. This is second property. Same process you can apply, but it is 2 times. Then you will get that A whole power N minus 1 whole square. It is repeating 2 times. If it is repeating 3 times, then you can write that A whole power N minus 1 whole cube. If it is repeating R times, based on that is, we can write simply that A whole power N minus 1 whole power R. That is the meaning of these statements. Similarly, we can prove that these two also. So these are the main properties of determinants. If you know these properties, just bits, you can do it very easily. Now I am giving to you some examples based on this concept. Now based on these properties, we can do it very easily, such like some bits based on this concept. If A is 3 by 3 order and the determinant of adjoint A equal to 16, then that A is equal to dash. So determinant of adjoint A. So we have synopsis. That formula is that A whole power N minus 1 is equal to 16. This is a property. Now only I gave you. In this, we want that A. So that A, N means order of the matrix. In this question, order is 3. So that 3 minus 1, 2 is equal to 16. So from this, we can write that A is equal to plus or minus 4. So by using that formula, just simply we can do it. And we are coming to next one. If that A 3 by 3, that means the order of the matrix is 3 by 3 here, is equal to 6. Then determinant of adjoint A. Previously, adjoint A is data is given. We are calculating data. Now anyway, so we have applying formula. Determinant of adjoint A is equal to formula is that A whole power N minus 1. Clearly it is given that A value is 6. So that 6. N means order of the matrix. 3 minus 1, 2. 6 square, that means 36. If suppose, same that A is equal to 3 by 3 equal to 6. Suppose, then determinant of adjoint A we want. Adjoint of adjoint A. By that time also we can do it very easy. The standard formula is that A whole power N minus 1 whole square. When it is adjoint of adjoint A. That A data is given. N minus 1 whole square. N means 3. That means 3. That A 6 power N minus 1. N means 3. 3 minus 1, 2 square. So you can calculate it. And in this case only, that means in this problem only, we have another case I am giving to you. That A 3 by 3 equal to 6. Then determinant of adjoint of 2A. So first we have to apply here determinant of, this is just like as adjoint of KA. Adjoint of KA means the formula is K power N minus 1 into adjoint A. K power, that means 2 power N minus 1. N means order of the matrix. N minus 1 into adjoint A. The formula is adjoint of Ka is K power N minus 1 into adjoint A. Now, determinant of 2 power 3 minus 1 means 2 square, that means 4. Determinant of adjoint A. If suppose 4 is not there, suppose, then we have direct formula. Is it or not? Determinant of adjoint A means that A whole power N minus 1. But here we have 4. Here it is applicable to one more formula. This is totally determinant of this is. I gave you already formula. Determinant of Ka is equal to K power n into det A. In determinants, I gave you already. Now, just like as determinants of Ka, by using that formula K power n, 4 power n means order of the matrix 3 in det A. Det A means determinant of adjoint A. Now, 4 cube, or you can simplify. Determinant of edge A, formula is det A whole power n minus 1. 4 cube means 64 into det A value is clearly given 6 power n minus 1. That means square. That means 36. Just 64 into 36. You can multiply. That is only required answer. So that is the way of process. And one more and last. A is 3 by 3 singular matrix. 3 by 3 singular matrix. What is the meaning of singular matrix? Det A value is 0. That is called as a singular matrix. And we want A into adjoint A. A into adjoint A means it is we can write directly. Our standard formula is A inverse is equal to adjoint A by det A. This is standard formula. Now I want to write adjoint A. Then we can write A inverse into det A. So A is as this. From this A inverse into det A. A into A inverse is always equal to identity matrix into det A. But in this question, A is singular matrix. Singular matrix means det A value is 0. That means this value is 0. 0 into anything, 0. So that is the way of process by using the given synopsis. So we have one more concept, that is we will discuss in the next class.